Hey Tri-State, it is Thursday, July 2nd. I want to put out that disclaimer right now that if you're driving, please wait till you're not to watch this. It will be available on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. So if you're driving, just wait. Also, 4th of July is coming up on Saturday, so I hope you all are safe and enjoy your holiday. So if you're like me, you're probably tired of listening to Michael Fisk every Thursday. So I have good news for you that we are back in Joplin and we have Cheryl Hinkle with us from HR, and she's got some good stuff to share with you. So if you'll just turn your listening ears on and get ready to roll, I'll flip it on over to her. Okay, you're on.
All right. Happy Thursday. I almost said happy Friday. I guess I'm pushing a little bit forward, but you know, we're all ready for the weekend, holiday weekend. Always lots of fun. So I'm glad to be back on Facebook Live, give you guys a break from Mr. Fisk. I'm sure that's not that I'm any better, but you know, just a different face for a little bit. Just a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about today. One of the things is obviously with Independence Day, the 4th of July, there's going to be a lot of people, office and drivers that maybe are going home, going to have some celebrations. You know, with the COVID still in full force, we want to make sure that you're as socially responsible as you can be. Office employees, if you're going somewhere for the 4th that's large and crowded and you're actually working in the office, you're going to need to let me know, because I don't want to put anybody at risk, so just make sure you're aware when you go. I was going to say too, for drivers, this is kind of the elephant in the room that I don't know that I want to talk about, but I'm going to. Just remember that, you know, 50% of our fleet is subject to random within a quarter. And so as you're going to these Independence Day celebrations, whatever, just be mindful of anything that you ingest could possibly affect a drug and alcohol screen or whatever. So just, you know, make sure that you're aware of that and don't take any chances on anything that would, you know, hurt your career or anything like that. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is the masks. You know, you guys have been wearing those for months as you're in and out of customers' facilities, those kind of things. You know, COVID unfortunately is not going away right now. So one of the things I wanted to touch on is effective today. We've actually implemented to where any of the office buildings on any of our facilities across the United States, if you are in that building and you're not in your own personal space, we are requiring face masks. That's for the protection of, you know, my protection, your protection. You know, they've shown that the face coverings help you protect others if you're, you know, cough or sneeze or something like that. So those are now going to be required in any office space within a facility, on, you know, any facility. You want to make sure, you know, still in Joplin and the big houses, they call it, if you're meeting with someone, you want to make sure that that's scheduled, because there are still very few of us that are in the office. So that's, you know, for our ease and yours, we want to make sure that whoever is here, or we're aware, so we can have someone meet you. You will be required when you, if someone meets you to bring you in the building, you will be required to wear a mask when you're within the building, just like our people are. I am when I'm away from my desk. So that starts today. That's also at all the facilities. We are not requiring face masks in the driver's lounge for our drivers. That's, you know, you're home away from home. You know, as long as you practice social distancing. I want to, you know, if I have a group of drivers in there and you're not social distancing, you know, myself, Trudy, whatever, you will be asked to put on a mask if we can see that you're not practicing social distancing. We want to make it as comfortable for you as you can. You know, that's kind of your safe space, and we appreciate that, but we do want to be socially responsible as well. You know, our orientation drivers, when they come in, they're given a mask. They have to, you know, they're supposed to wear it in the van going back and forth to the hotel and everything. So that's kind of just following the practices that we've been doing so far. That's going to be the same as if you go into the shop area. You know, our shop guys, they pretty much social distance when they work, and frankly, it's 100 degrees in the shop, so they're not required to wear them unless they leave the shop area. A driver coming into the shop area, that's not your personal space. You would need to have a mask. That's going to be Plattsburgh, you know, Richmond, Loudon, any of those areas. If you're going into one of those facilities, we are asking that you wear a mask. Do you have any questions on any of that, Riley?
Not yet.
Okay. We have had the last couple of weeks, Michael Fisk and myself have had several situations where we've had to deal with social media. I know Mike spoke to you last week about that. I just want to remind you guys, because it, you know, we still had a couple instances. So I personally am not going out there and monitoring your Facebook. You know, I have a Cheryl Roadmaster account, but I don't go out and, you know, police the social media. But, you know, what's bringing it up is we have people that are outside the company. You know, you guys put your employer, who it is, and they do some research and they send us an email with screenshots. You know, Mike had talked on this, so just make sure when you have that information where they know where you work, you know, depending on what you're posting, that could be something that you're going to be asked to, you know, be mindful of that. I understand that that's your place and you want to be able to give your opinions. But, you know, if you put on there that you're, you know, employed by Tri-State, that's still reflecting somehow on the company, even if it's not what we believe as a company. You know, you're representing that just by putting that out there. And, you know, we've told you from the beginning, even in class and everything, you guys are at a higher standard, especially with the DOD clearance. There's a lot that they can look into of that we don't even have any say on. If they come back and, you know, find something that they don't like and they yank your clearance, there's nothing we can do on that. So just a reminder again, because even after Mike spoke, we've had a couple instances. So I understand it's a very unsettling time, and everybody uses that to vent, but, you know, just be mindful, you know, keyboard warriors. If you wouldn't feel comfortable saying it to somebody's face, it's probably not a good idea to say it on Facebook either. The difference, if you say it to their face and there's limited people that hear it, and then there's, you know, it's gone and forever and that's it. You do that on Facebook and that's not the case. Even if you delete it, you know, those records can be pulled and stuff like that. So that's my reminder on the social media. Last thing I want to talk about is we have had a couple of emails just with the protests and rioting and stuff that has been going on. I've had a couple of questions. Mike has had a couple of questions on why we don't allow drivers to carry firearms for protection. You know, with what we do and DOD bases, it's just not allowed. So, you know, they're not going to let you come on their facility with a firearm, period. So, you know, it's not, I'm not saying that, you know, that's something I agree with or disagree with. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. They don't allow us to come on with those. So, just be mindful that, you know, those cannot be on the truck, and, you know, it is grounds for immediate termination if that is found out. So, you know, my job isn't to say whether I think it's right or wrong. It's just to, you know, this is what we're dealing with. It's no different than the masks. You know, it doesn't matter what your personal opinion is. If you're going in or out of somewhere that's requiring it, you know, you're expected as a company to comply to have that. So, just a couple of things, because we've been getting a lot of questions with the unrest that everybody's dealing with. Any questions?
No, but touching on the social media, Larry Beatty, he just recommended that it's probably better if you don't state where you work, just as an extra precaution.
Right. You know, and I've kind of said this from the beginning. It's not my job to say whether you can have Facebook, whether you can't, what you're going to put on there, if you're going to put your employer. I personally, on my personal Facebook page, I have nothing that says where I live, where I went to school, where I work. That's just me personally. I don't friend people unless I personally know them either. that's just my preference. I'm one of those that, you know, I figure if they know me well enough to be friends with me on Facebook, they know where I work. I've been here forever, and that's just me. So I personally think it's probably a good idea not to have your employer on there. It's not that I'm not proud of it. I'm proud that I work here. I just don't like people in my business. So, but I'm going to agree with that statement and say that's probably a good idea. You know, if you don't want to have people, and you know, now it doesn't take a lot of research. Someone looks you up and sees where you work, and that's all it takes for them to send us a message. So, just be mindful of that, because when we do get them, we have to respond. You know, we can't just let them sit out there. We have to look into them and respond to those people and everything. So that's a good suggestion. I'm not going to say that I disagree with it. Anything else? You're smirking. You make me nervous when you smirk.
Well, because it's always Michael Fisk.
Oh, Lord.
He says, is Cheryl going sleeveless today to flex early for the fireworks show?
Thunder and lightning, that's what I call them, just in case you know. It's hot here, and it's very humid, so even though it's hot in Arizona, it's not the same heat. So, yep, I'm bringing out the gun show, Mr. Fisk. Oh, goodness. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just close with have a great 4th of July. We hope you have a wonderful holiday. Be safe and celebrate America, and we appreciate everything you do. Hopefully we'll be talking again next week, so stay safe. Thank you.